Okay, so Chelsea are back in Champions League football next season. After winning the Conference League and officially securing top four football, it is a massive rise from a couple of seasons ago where they were languishing in mid-table. A lot of that has been helped by the heavy spending of Todd Boehly and the managerial tactics of Enzo Maresca, but once again, Chelsea are linked to a whole host of different transfers. So today, we are looking to do a full, realistic transfer simulation with Chelsea and see how far we can take them with fully up-to-date and realistic tactics. And here is the current Chelsea side with the tactics which I have created to emulate Enzo Maresca. We have a standard tactic, we have an attacking variation of the tactic, and then we have a kind of 4-3-3 variation. All of these tactics will be available in the shop on the Patreon, linked down below, and available to the monthly members as the rebuild files. If you do want to get that, link in the description down below. Now this is the current setup for Chelsea. So currently in goal is Robert Sanchez with Reece James as an inverted wing back on the right hand side. They often then build up in a back three. There's been Fofana, Colville and Marc Cucurella filling in as that left sided centre back, which is really interesting because for me, he was always a very attacking wing back. Often he will be the inverted fullback, which is quite cool. Obviously sitting deeper, Moises Caicedo as the defensive midfielder on defend with the Volante on attack. Enzo Fernandez sitting next to him, getting forward and arriving late into the box. On the left-hand side, Pedro Neto on the left as a winger on support, cross from byline, get from forward, tackle harder, with Madueke on the right, staying wider, cutting inside and tackling harder. Palmer, advanced playmaker on attack, and Nicholas Jackson leading the line, making them in behind runs into the channels and behind the defence as a complete forward on attack. And Chelsea have had their fair share of outgoings and incomings in recent seasons. Looking through this, we've got Jorgensen, Malo Gusto, Trevor Chalobah, Badiashile, Renato Vega, Lavia, Dewsbury Hall and Kunku, Mudryk and Mark Yu on the bench. Jadon Sancho back off to Manchester United. We have cancelled that deal, and a whole bunch of players here as well that are probably going to end up leaving the club. And this is what I actually think the Chelsea side will end up like with the outgoings and the need for some squad rotation. Now in goal, there is heavy links at the moment as I record this to Mike Maignan. A ridiculously cheap fee from what I'm seeing. Chelsea want to pay 10 million, AC Milan want to pay 30. If they meet at 20 million for Mike Maignan from AC Milan, unbelievable business for Chelsea. They will have one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. They're also heavily linked to getting a brand new centre-back to sit next to Levi Colville. From there, I am not too sure what we're going to do with Cucurella. He is amazing in real life. He is outstanding. Chelsea fans who I know, who I'm mates with, love him. And I do not want to replace him. I might just bring someone in to battle in that inverted fullback role. Moving on into the defensive midfield positions, there is no chance we are letting go of either Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez. I think there was links to Saudi with Enzo Fernandez before the Club World Cup, but I'm recording this on the 3rd of June, and as things stand, nothing happening. So he is also staying. Noni Madueke as a rotational winger, Palmer, of course, as the starting cam. And then there is heavy links to a brand new winger and a brand new striker. Now, as I record this, the deal is effectively done for Liam Delap. I believe it is literally just a medical to sign for Chelsea, and that deal is done. So Liam Delap will go out and join Chelsea. On the bench, we have got Nicholas Jackson as a rotation. I am keeping him around. There's not that many rumours that he's leaving, but they are also looking at a lot of different players, including potentially a couple more wingers and this striker. There's a lot of links out there, and from what I'm seeing from Chelsea Twitter and looking on News Now, etc., Chelsea are going big in the attack this season, so that's what we're looking to do. We have got a defensive midfielder already coming in the transfers. We can see that Dario Esujo is coming in from Sporting, and he is the perfect backup to Moises Caicedo. Very similar profile of player. I've got Trevor Chalobah, Badiashile, Gusto and Philip Jorgensen as the backups. I'm not too sure which centre-backs are going to stay. Tosin might end up staying. Wesley Fofana might end up staying. And Selminio probably end up staying at the club. There's a whole bunch, but it's going to be a big summer for Chelsea. I think they're looking to really solidify themselves back in that top four and then, compete for the trophy eventually, which is something they can certainly do. There is no hiding the fact Chelsea, though, have spent a lot of money recently. Debts-wise, it is up to £500 million because of the transfer debt and the net debt here, and we've only got £30 million in the bank. So to make some of these deals work, we're going to have to be very, very clever in the transfer market. Players like Datro Fofana, Marcus Bettinelli, Sterling, Adebayo, Dewsbury Hall, Broja, Chilwell, Sanchez, Disasi, Fofana, Petrovic, Arif Balaga, Mudryk, João Felix, Vega and Kunku are going to all leave the club on permanent deals. we need to raise about 200 to 300 million pounds to actually do what Chelsea want to do in real life. Now, of course, here on Football Manager, we have got a simulation where Chelsea have finished in their correct position, 4th in the table, 69 points, securing top 4 football, which is absolutely massive for them. Really good to be actually in the top 4 on merit, not like winning the Europa League and getting Champions League football. They won the Conference League as well, which is brilliant, and absolutely battered Real Betis. But to actually consistently get the points and get to 69 points is really good. If my mind is correct, they started the season quite well, had that massive drop off middle of the season, and I know Chelsea fans that were like, scared of Maresca, potentially get him out, stuck with him. Things have gone very well. Beat Forest on the final day of the season, and now they are a Champions League side. So let's see which transfers we can bring in to really elevate this team, and for me, really try and add some goals. Right, let's start on the outgoings front because there has been a lot, but not quite in the way that I wanted it to be. Nkunku's left to PSG, great, 45 million. Sanchez to Arsenal was a weird deal. Bettinelli to Bournemouth. And then Broja, Mudryk, Dewsbury Hall, Mark Gui and Ronnie Stutter have all left on loan. We really needed permanent fees for a lot of them players. In terms of this side of things, then crossover in the transfer window, Chilwell, Chalobah, both gone to Saudi. Kepa to West Ham. Dasha Fofana, Alex Matos, Jimmy Turulainen all left the club. But again, João Felix, Tosin, Renato Vega, all of the club on loan rather than permanent deals. So I've had to do a little bit of tomfoolery in terms of, installments. But I've made some massive deals. Number 1, Mike Maignan. He's here at Chelsea on Football Manager, and you can see exactly why Chelsea want him. I can't believe the fee is as low as it is. As soon as I saw it, I was screaming at United to go and get him. I'm a United fan, as you can tell. As soon as I saw £10 million they'd offered, and AC Milan want 30, I will raise funds to try and get £30 million of Mike Maignan. And he could join United because that would be an unbelievable deal. A top tier goalkeeper. And if Chelsea get him, they really are going to be challengers for the title. The only issue is here on FM, I've had to spend a bit of money to get him in. This was one where we gave them, I think, £20 million and then like £130 million in installments. I'm not proud of it. That part of it's not realistic at all, but neither is the fact of AC Milan asking for 120 million. So the non-realism comments coming from how much we spent there, deal with it. The signings is what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to bring players in that are realistic. The financial side of things, FM sometimes gets wrong. Next up was Yoro Hato. He has been heavily linked to Chelsea in real life to be a rotational centre-back and potentially that inverted full-back role. I looked through many reports on loads of different websites, scrolled through Chelsea Twitter, and this is one of the deals which I think could very much happen. It's cost us here on FM £45 million. Very similar to what I think it would cost to get him out of Ajax in real life. He is 19 years of age in real life, 6'2", decent on the ball, great crossing, decent speed for the size of him as well, and would do really well next to Levi Colwill. Them two as a future of the left inverted fullback and Colwill next to him, and then a new centre-back next to him would be unbelievable. And that back three transitioning from the 4-2-3-1 would be incredible. The next 3 signings are Esteval, Dario Eusebio and Kendry Paez, all joining the team this summer. And then, of course, made the permanent deal of Liam Delap to join Chelsea. It's cost us £20 million here on FM, which is a good bargain. The only issue is on Foot Manager, this guy is awful. He will drop to Ipswich if you don't touch him in the Championship and will rotate as a striker. That's how bad he is in FM, which is a real shame because I think he's got real potential to be potential New England number 9 in a couple of seasons' time. Potentially even next summer for the World Cup if he smashes it at Chelsea in real life. There's no reason why not. I've brought him in. I just don't know how good he's going to be. So I've also signed Hugo Ekitike because there is again strong rumours that Chelsea are battling with Liverpool and have actually poked ahead in the race to get Hugo Ekitike to join the club. He is a striker which I have watched for a few seasons. Being an FM fan, see him at Reims and moving to PSG. One of the favourite wonder kids back in the day, leaving to a big side. Things haven't quite worked out for him since. He's gone to Frankfurt this season, though, where he has done very well, hence the links to a lot of big clubs. And it wouldn't surprise me if this deal happens in real life. A tall, quick winger/striker that can finish the ball. Something Chelsea definitely need. And finally is Jamie Bino Gittins. Again, a mental transfer deal and one that I've done. I don't know if Chelsea could deal with this in real life. I don't know if PSR allows it. I don't know if it's Nicholas Jackson leaves and these players comes in, or if there's some more big sales like Pedro Neto. I've got no idea. I can understand why Sancho's gone back to United if these are the deals they're going for. Bano Gittins, fantastic youngster, unbelievable dribbling flair and speed, 5'10", very consistent, and will most likely come into this Chelsea team and be a starter. The starting team we're looking at currently is Manyan in goal, James, Badiashile, Colville and Ahato as the back four, Caicedo and Fernandes in front of them, Madueke, Gittins, Palmer and Delap up front. In defence, we've also got Wesley Fofana, who will rotate in as a centre-back, Jorgensen, Gusto, Andre Santos coming back from loan, and Cucurella, Dario Asugio, Romeo Lavia, Ekatike, Neto, Kendry Paez and Nicholas Jackson make the backups. This team is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of what we have built, and also a huge fan of how homegrown this team is. Delap, Gittins, Palmer, Madueke, Colville, Reece James, all in the starting lineup, all English, which is very cool. So for home registration rules of Europe, it's going to be no issues whatsoever. Really easy to sort out, which is great to see. One other player I want to touch on as well is in the under-21s. I'm not sure how good he is on FM. It's Tyreek George. There he is. He has got some decent potential on FM. He's much better in real life than what FM rates him, and sadly he's just not going to get a look in this rebuild. But Tyreek George next season I'm sure will get a very big upgrade and potentially stay around at Chelsea. I've got no idea what their plan is. If they make all of these signings and the likes of Gittins, Ekatike, Delap all come in, I'm sure we'll probably end up going out on loan, which is completely fair enough because we are now a top 4 team based on the media prediction. We're above we're above Spurs, we're above Manchester United, Newcastle, Villa, and we are creeping up on Arsenal, Liverpool and City. And it'll be interesting to see if we can somehow break in to that top 3. Doesn't look like City have done too much business, and neither does it for Liverpool, and Arsenal also not doing much business at all. So FM being very nice, not a lot of business going on other than us making a lot of huge signings. And I think this Chelsea team is ready to compete. I think potentially strikers an issue. These are the strikers they're linked with, so I've gone out and got them. But Madueke and Gittins is a superb wing partnership. Palmer in the cam, if he doesn't have that little drop off of form like he did last year, unreal. Midfield duo, best in the Premier League in my opinion. And this defence is incredibly strong with one of the best goalkeepers. It really is. There is nowhere to look other than this Chelsea team going and absolutely dominating. And I'm very excited to see what we can do. I will put this save file in with these transfers all done, as well as the starting save file and the free tactics and the final save file, all in a big folder, like I said, in the shop at the start of the video and available to the Patreon members. If you want to head down there and join, it helps support me massively, and you're getting a lot of bang for your buck as well. We're offering loads of tactics, rebuild files and advice out at the moment, so all of that is linked down below and it helps support me. But first of all, let's get into this season and see how we cook with this Chelsea team. And well, based on how the season started, this could be a little bit more difficult than I thought. Not only did we lose to Villa, we also lost to Spurs. But we did finish off the month of August with a victory, and it was a 2-0 victory over Wolves. We also beat Sunderland 2-0. So good to see that when we win games, we do it to nil. But to be honest, losing them 2 games is a little bit frustrating and probably shows we're maybe not as close as I thought. And it is only a month into the season, but 2 wins, 2 losses, 6 points, a little bit disappointing. Spurs, however, 4 wins, and Dominic Solanke is top of the goal scorers charts. So they've got something ticking. We just need to find that ourselves. But of course, the beauty of this now is that we also have Champions League football, and it's not going to be easy. Just next month, we've got Copenhagen, City, United, Liverpool, Barcelona, Roma, United, Juventus. There's a lot of big games coming up. Let's see how we can do over the next few months as we adapt to this new system. And well, yeah, we certainly need to adapt to the system, because as we get to the end of October, we have 2 Premier League victories, haven't won another game, and haven't won in the Champions League. But it was very clearly just a simple case of learning the system. Of course, we haven't put in that the Chelsea players know exactly how to play this tactic, and the familiarity isn't quite there. But as we've got to this stage in the season, a couple of months of using this system, they have learnt it, and we were playing some unbelievable football. This is a game against Nottingham Forest, and we were just simply incredible. You just in there, a lovely move by Bano Gittins to get us a goal. Hudson-Odoi scores to make it 2-1 in this game, but we are going to put them to the test. Gittins finds Dario Asugio, back to Gittins, into Palmer for 3-1. And we grab a 4th as well in the 67th minute, a corner from Reece James, a header from Fofana, and that was all she wrote in this one. But like I said, we'd massively turned the corner. We beat Fulham 1-0, United 2-0, Everton 4-0, Bournemouth 3-0, and finally conceded in the Premier League again with a 3-1 victory over Leeds United. And thanks to that, it had put us back into the contention for the top 4. And actually for the title, it's a very close league this season. We're on 34 points. We've only lost 2 games, but a lot of draws in the middle there. Not bad draws. City, Liverpool, away against Brentford, and away against Brighton, to be honest. And a lot of very good victories. And we are looking actually like a bit of a dangerous side. Cole Palmer, second top goal scorer behind Erling Haaland, and we are just 2 points off the top of the table. But bear in mind, the top 4 are all on 36. Sadly, one thing we can see from the very off is that Liam Delap is not going to work here in this rebuild. 6 starts, 0 goals, a 6.4 average rating. That's a real shame. I didn't want that to be the case at all. Nicholas Jackson isn't exactly scoring a bunch of goals with just 2, and Hugo Ekitike has just 3 in 13. So a lot of players need to ship up or get out because they're not improving enough. Gittins off the bench, 5 assists, is doing really well and is actually our highest performer of the whole team. So that seems to be a very good signing. And Dario Asugio as the rotation with Caicedo, also doing really well. And of course, we know Super Cole Palmer's doing well. And Big Mike in goal, also doing absolute wonders. Our Champions League form has been pretty awful. We are 1 win in 5 games, 4 losses. So let's just kind of hope we don't carry that on and we do actually make it out of this league phase. That would be very, very embarrassing. And the Carabao Cup, we lost to United, which is also quite disappointing. So it seems like a lot of over-reliance on Cole Palmer and goals coming from other places. I'm just hoping the other goals start coming in a little bit more regularly. And that's exactly what we can see happen in this game in January, where 3 of our brand new signings are going to get on the score sheet. Jamie Gittins has been unbelievable since joining the club, and it has really impressed me how well he has taken to this system and to this league. Madueke then finds a ball in the box to find Hugo Ekitike to make it 2-0 away at St James's Park against Newcastle. And finally, Liam Delap breaks his goal drought and gets a goal for Chelsea. It is 6 yards out. It's not the most difficult one, but he fires it home. And we beat Newcastle very convincingly away from home, 3-0. And thanks to that sort of form, we actually find ourselves second in the table, just a point behind Manchester City. We've only lost 1 more game this season, and that was against Wolves away from home. Only, I believe, 1 more draw, and that was against Burnley away from home. The rest of the games have all been victories, and we are looking like a very strong side. And luckily, thanks to this 7-0 victory over Partizan in the final Champions League phase game, we had managed to get out of the depths of 25th to 36th and qualify in the league phase. We are in the second bit of the qualification though, 18th to 24th, which is a little bit rough, which means we're going to be facing a pretty big side. And well, yes, it was Manchester City we were facing, and sadly they absolutely turned us over in the first leg, a 4-1 loss, and we lost 1-0 in the second leg. We certainly weren't helped with the injuries to Cole Palmer and Madueke. They looked to have really stumped us, and for some reason Mike Maignan conceded 4 shots on target and 4 goals, which is really, really poor. A bit of a disappointing result, to be honest, and we are out in the knockout playoff round to Manchester City, but at least that means we can concentrate on the league and see if we can challenge them for the title. And well, yes, as we get into the second half of the Premier League season, we are seeing a lot more goals coming from Hugo Ekitike in particular, proving we might not need a brand new striker next summer. And he even whips out a cheeky little bicycle kick against Vandenberg, a lovely finish for 2-0. And Wesley Fofana at the back stick, making it 3 in a very convincing win against Brentford. And it was a lot of victories like that which eventually got us to finishing in 4th place in the Premier League. Manchester City just ran away with it this season. 94 points is a pretty incredible points tally, but 74 is very good. It's 5 better than Chelsea last season. 22 victories, 8 draws, 8 losses, 33 goal difference is great to see, and we're only 3 points away from Arsenal. Liverpool 10 points away from Manchester City. But the good thing is we were miles clear of the likes of Spurs, Villa, Manchester United. They weren't even really challenging us, which was good to see. In terms of our team overview, we scored the 5th most amount of goals on 59, and we're very good defensively, conceding just 26. proving that there is something to fix the club, and it really is getting that goal scorer. Because while Hugo Ekitike did come back with 17 goals in 25 games, the next best was Palmer with 14, and Jackson on 10, and then it quite severely drops off with Madueke and Gittins a lot more concentrating on the assists, which is great, and they're both doing so well, but there's no other real striker out there or goal scorer, and we just need a striker that's grabbing 25, 30 goals rather than 17 or 10. We need double that ideally, so that's my big goal for this summer, I think. But it wasn't all doom and gloom, because we actually ended up in a final this summer, and while Cole Palmer did miss a penalty in the actual game and in the penalty shootout, we are going to go on to beat Spurs here on penalties, which is ideal. You don't want to lose penalties, and you especially don't want to lose them to Spurs. Take that from a United fan. It's never good losing to Spurs. But overall, it wasn't an awful season. Top 4 in the Premier League once again, with Champions League football, winning an FA Cup, and having a few players progress into some real stars. But there is a lot to make this Chelsea side from a top 4 side to a Premier League side. I say a lot. It's just a goal scorer. I think the rest of this team is there with how well Jamie Bynoe-Gittins has progressed this summer, and Noni Madueke proving he is good enough to be a starter. For me, it is just this striker position. I think if Hugo's the rotation, this team really could become Premier League, Champions League and FA Cup winners and win a treble. So as we said, we were looking for a star striker to come into this side and bag a whole bunch of goals. And I'm looking no further than Chelsea's affiliated club, Strasbourg. Emmanuel Omega has developed into a joke of a striker here in this Save on FM. And if this guy had a season like this in real life, scoring 22 goals in 31 games, there is no doubt in my mind he'd be off to Chelsea in the click of a finger. So here he is, and he's absolutely fantastic. We've cost him £60 million. He's worth 122. He's 6'5" with 16 pace. I love a big striker who's fast, and this guy is going to be no different. 16 dribbling, 16 heading, and 16 off the ball work. He's got great press, great on the ball, and great finishing, while being massive. He's an absolute demon. And the only other signing I actually ended up making was a brand new centre-back, and it's a little bit of a surprising one, but what I think you'll see as a really good market opportunity is John Stones. I brought him in from Manchester City because he was transfer listed for £43 million. And this Chelsea side without John Stones is very young. There is a lot of 20 to 23-year-olds in the starting lineup. And I thought bringing in John Stones adds a lot of experience, international experience, and he's a brilliant defender. For me, he's one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. He's been a little bit quiet in the last 12 months with City. I'm not sure if there's a big injury or something, or whatever it is, he's fallen back out with Pep. But for me, he's an unbelievable centre-back. He's England's best centre-back, potentially with Levi Colwill, to be honest. And in this team, with this back 4, it's an unreal signing because he's going to sit on the right side of the back 3 while Reece James pushes into midfield. Effectively, what this system does, it moves Fernandes across to there, Reece James into there. It moves Harto into the middle of the defence with Colwill, and we end up looking like this. Palmer comes across a bit, and that's how we build up. Harto and Stones, either side of Levi Colwill, incredible. Caicedo and Reece James, incredible. Gittins, Fernandes, Palmer, Madueke, incredible. Omega up front, incredible. This system works so well with what we have built here. The few signings we've made, Stones, Harto, Manyan, Jamie Gittins, Omega, all come into the team and are really good players. On the bench, Jorgensen, Gusto, Badiashile, Fofana, Kukurea, Esugio, Lavia, Ekitike, Kendrick Payers, Neto, and Liam Delap all staying at the club. I've also signed some youngsters. I spent some money on bringing in Loran from Flamengo, simply for you legends that do support on the Patreon. I thought you might as well have one of the best wonder kids in the game. We had spare money. It cost us £10 million. I am in the process or have already brought a couple of other players. Where are they? There they are. We've got Alexander Staff coming in from Eintracht Frankfurt, a German striker with 4.5 star potential, great determination, 5'9", looks really good, and someone I thought I'd bring in for £3 million. And Tygo Land also coming in from PSV, 4.5 star potential, 5'7", much more of a ball playing midfielder. And if, Enzo Fernandez was to leave, this guy would be a really good option to come in and progress into the first team. So there are a few signings I've also made for you because why on earth not? Might as well try and leave you in the best place available. So that is the Chelsea team. The tactic is created. The season is ready to go. We are, of course, in the Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League this year. and let's see how we do. I think we've done a great job at rebuilding the squad. I think financially wise, we've done quite well, dropping the debt by about £150 million and leaving us 200 million in terms of the bank balance. I can't see that I've done much wrong here. We've done a very, very good rebuild, a pretty successful season last year. Let's see if this one can be even better. Well, it's safe to say that we have in fact started this season in fantastic form. We started much better than last year, mainly down to our big striker in the middle, Emmanuel Omega. I've actually never used him on FM24, which is a little bit weird because I know he's some people's favourite striker. And I might make him my favourite now because he's a bit good. He's a bit tall, he's a bit quick, and he's great at finishing, and he loves a header as well. This is a very convincing 3-0 victory over Spurs, but there were many more where that came from in just the first couple of months. We managed to beat Manchester City in the Community Shield, beat Villa 2-0, and another emphatic victory away from home against Newcastle at St James's Park. We did lose to Madrid in the Champions League and Everton in the Premier League, but we did manage to beat Napoli and grab a point against Ipswich. And after all of that, it leaves us in pretty good place. 4th place in the Premier League, just 4 points behind City, 4 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, but a 10-goal difference. And like I said, this guy has hit the ground running. 9 goals, 1 assist in 11 games. What an absolute beast. And well, the good form and the goals have carried on. But what is amazing to see is that last season's star signings, Ekitike and Bino Gittins, haven't crumbled under the pressure of having a star striker up there. In fact, they've thrived off it. Ekitike off that right wing grabbed a brace in this game against Brentford. An unreal ball there from Enzo Fernandez. And Bino Gittins is still just terrorising defences. He is so quick, he is so good at dribbling, and his finishing has come along leaps and bounds. We still sit in the top 4, which is great to see, but we seem to have found Manchester City at their very best, 43 points. And Aston Villa are in second, and you might have spotted it already. I'll give you a second, look around the screen, see if you can spot it. Probably not found it? Right. Lionel Messi, Aston Villa. Why? Why are you... I'm doing a realistic rebuild, and Lionel bloody Messi is at Aston Villa. That's not helpful, is it? Because he's quite good. He's got 10 goals and 7 assists in 21 games. So we are really up against it here. Spurs are doing really well this season as well. I'm just a bit shell-shocked, really, that Messi's at Villa. Fair enough, football manager. You do you, boo. You're absolutely mental. In terms of the squad, players that are scoring a bunch of goals, Omega with 12 already. I do think he will potentially get to that 25 mark we mentioned. Palmer with 11, Gittins with 6, Ekitike with 6, Madueke 4, and Neto 4. Much better in terms of goal scoring all around. And on loan, David Washington in the Championship at Blackburn has got 9 goals and 2 assists already. So again, next season, you've got yourself a star wonder kid coming through. That looks really good and could progress into a really good player for you. In terms of the Champions League, it was a much better start. Probably a very similar finishing position, though, as we are down in 16th place. Be good to be in the top 8. We'll see what happens there. We nice to try and win that as well. FA Cup, we are in the 3rd round. Carabao Cup, knocked out in the quarters to Wolves. But overall, a very decent first half of the season and very similar to last year, to be fair. So we are going to zoom on with the second half of the Premier League season. And December was decent. Victories over Forest, Brentford and Leicester. Losses to Liverpool and Bournemouth. Unbeaten in January, drawing to the Messi of Aston Villa with a 1-1 there. Beating Southampton, drawing to Newcastle. We then lost 3 in a row to Everton, United and Spurs, which was frustrating, but we turned the corner and our form to finish the season was incredible. Beat Ipswich and Brighton 4 and 5-1 respectively. Drew to Wolves, beat Palace, beat Leeds, beat West Ham, beat City at the Etihad, which is a great result. Beat Bournemouth, drew to Forest, beat Liverpool, beat Arsenal at the Emirates. 48th minute Omega goal is brilliant. Drew to Brentford and beat Leicester to finish the season. But there wasn't going to be a Premier League trophy in this video for Chelsea because Manchester City just an absolute joke. 85 points and we've got 75 finishing in 2nd place, which is brilliant. And I do think we've done a very good job in terms of this realistic rebuild. 24 goals for Omega, exactly what I wanted. Palmer, back at his best. Ekitike, really good winger for the club and will be great. And Gittins and Madueke, the exact same. 2 fantastic players coming to the club. Mike Maignan as a goalkeeper will be a great signing for them. John Stones, I think, is a good deal that I've brought in. And I think if a market opportunity arose like that in real life, it is something Chelsea would certainly go for. Other players that have not done well, Liam Delap. if this is anything to go by, the Liam Delap signing will not work for Chelsea. Scored 1 goal in 14 games. But despite all of that, we do find ourselves in a Champions League final, and it was a 1-0 victory thanks to a goal from Noni Madueke. And I know Chelsea fans love a Champions League final. Winning it back in 2021, I believe it is now, was an amazing moment I had with my mates that are Chelsea fans. And winning this game a 1-0 against Madrid with an Mbappe missed penalty in the 93rd minute would be absolutely iconic. And our actual Champions League form, once we got into the knockout stages, was really good. We beat Manchester City 3-1 and then lost to 1-0, but beat them. PSG back-to-back 1-0s, Bayern 0-0, and then a 94th minute Omega 1-0 winner and a 1-0 against Real Madrid. Just really good at not conceding goals. We managed to build quite a strong tactic defensively. I would say there's a little bit of an issue going forward. You could potentially move this from balanced to positive. Balanced isn't the most meta thing on Football Manager in the slightest, but I like to try and make the tactics as realistic as I can. Positive would be better. And for this attacking variation, you'd be a lot more aggressive in terms of goal scoring. I'm absolutely sure of it. I didn't really rotate through the formations too much, to be honest. As you guys might know, I am buying a house. And as this video comes out, I'm on holiday with the weekend after I bought a house. So if this isn't realistic and Chelsea have signed some players, I do apologise. I hope it's been a fun video to watch though, and the potential of what Chelsea can do over the next couple of seasons using Enzo Maresca's tactic. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you guys next time.